Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening, Akanksha. Yeah, sheet color. It's all the same one here, everything. ऊपर वाला था उसके ऊपर वाला कौन सा ये वाला ये वाला उन लोगों ने रेक्टेंगल ड्रेनेज पैटर्न दिया रेक्टेंगल Hey, any of you know how I should share this page? Do it, no? Yeah, are you able to see, Akanksha, the slide changing?
Yes, ma'am.
Now what can you see?
Ma'am, the difference between surface water and groundwater.
मैंने एक्स्ट्रा नोट्स भी लिख लिया था मैं एक्स्ट्रा नोट्स लिख लिया था उसके अंदर सब कैरेक्टर्स not with your friends. He's not your friend. हम बैठ सकते हैं आप सब लोग बैठे कि ना बैठे क्या हो सकते हैं हम बैठा and I got the first bench and why I'm setting up this better. No, that you get up from there. Now only he's getting and अभी तो सुबह नहीं किया दिन वही तो at least now last class में ड्राइव पर हाँ स्कूल में जाके आया है वो चालू है ना again there you come here you come you around him don't entertain his jokes and his comments just देखो तो जाने को मुश्किल होता है तू नया है हाईवे का नहीं है तू जाएगा तो तेरे को सबसे I don't know you have told that she is very busy so she's not coming with you right so you blame your mother for that you blame the reason चाबी नहीं थी यार you be away you come outside हाँ हमेशा किसी की अंदर जाने को चाहिए just like I told it's the lecture you also come towards the outside but finally I'm gone now do your books especially notebooks निकालो का जन्म होता तो पता ही हम अपने नेशनल मेडिटेशन के नोट्स बना देते So plastic no, now we we keep your notebooks out to make notes, write down the points, and also your text. Water resources. Except notebook. अरे ये देखो पूरा ज्योग्राफी का लिखा हुआ है ज्योग्राफी का लिखा हुआ है ज्योग्राफी
map of India पे ये सब पाता है map of India पे ये सब places
if for maps of India your board question has come, so only do those which are specified in that. Okay. Yes. Now also in your test, I hope it came from there only, no?
फिर contours में valley range water divide escarpments निकाल दिया contours में water divide valley range water divide और escarpment फिर streams और direction में direct या direct indirect नहीं आता direct measuring आ रहा है बस indirect नहीं आ रहा वो thread वाला
We go as for that only. So now we push the 4 months. Okay, so water resources. Write down the definition. What is a water resource? Okay, that's sorry? Yes. Refers to the entire range of natural waters. One second. Refers to the entire range of
Ma'am, we are not able to see the board.
because we
share
just show me that screen part. No? Let me see how much you can see through this board. Yes, I did that on the bed world. Right. It's a trauma based. Now enough of the jokes. And percentage is yes. I'll tell you all this. You are right as it is. I'll tell you. Okay, so what are water resources? Refers to the entire range of natural waters. So what are the key points here? Entire range of natural waters that occur on the earth and are of potential use to human beings. These are the two most important points. Entire range of natural waters that occur on the earth and are of potential use to living beings. लक्ष्य ज्यादा कुछ पूछ मत जो बोला है वो लिख quickly. To be focused on what we are doing. The same, definitely. This also you are right. Done? Or not done? Nice. 0.3% for the residues. Yes. And 0.3% fresh. That's fresh. Nice. Being fresh. This. Okay. And this is what? Saline. Saline water, which is present in which we don't use. Okay, so what are water resources? The entire range of natural waters that are present on the surface of the earth and are of potential use. Resource means what? Anything that is useful to you is a resource. Yes. So whatever water that is available and is of use to us, those are known as resource. That's a water resource. Saline, amongst all the water that we have on planet Earth, 97% of it is in the ocean. So here, what are we trying to say? That the amount of water that we have is very less. So we need to conserve it. Okay, 3% is fresh water. Fresh water means which is not salty. Out of that 3%, 2.3% is on the polar ice caps in the form of snow, again, which we cannot use. 0.7% remaining, 0.67% is in the form of groundwater, which is again difficult to use, which we also need to conserve. And the remaining 0.3% is in the form of fresh water. Fresh water as in rivers or lakes. Fresh water which is not salty. Okay. Now, need to conserve water. No, that you want to need to conserve water. Why do we need to conserve water?
Because we need water in our daily life.
Yes, we need water in our daily life, so we need to conserve it. But there are many other reasons. Number one is the requirement for water is increasing because of irrigation. So to make water right now, so to make water available to the population, we need to conserve it. Second,
Harvesting.
rainfall is erratic.
Available for everyone. One population. At the main points on that you can elaborate later.
Rainfall is erratic. Erratic matlab you get different amounts of rainfall at different times. There is no fixed date, and at the same time, in the whole of the earth, you'll have some places that have extremely scanty rainfall, that are deserts, and some places that have very high rainfall, like most. It's not fixed. It's uncertain. You can say uncertain. Okay. Then, third point, more than 90% water, yes, used for irrigation. Yes, for agriculture. Especially where India is concerned, India is an agrarian economy. So we are dependent on agriculture, for which 90% of the water is utilized over there. Fourth point, industries also use on large quantity of water. So if we don't conserve, it's going to affect all of these. Then fifth point, I hope all of you are writing.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Fifth point, our rivers are polluted. Rivers are polluted these days. So water cannot be used without proper treatment. Yes, purifying is proper treatment. So again, that would involve a huge cost which we want to avoid. Sixth point. Next.
पानी की बात करते हैं
मैं उठाती हूँ तेरे को, तेरे क्रैक्स को एक देखी तेल में नहीं
राशि का
ये वहाँ चलेगा, स्टील से और अच्छा जल्दी से ठीक हो जाता है. Please don't talk.
Plastic can break, so I don't want to.
Loss of vegetation. Great. Leads to drought. Leads to drought, which is reduced rainfall. That leads to lowering of the water table. Sir, what, sir?
Leads to less rainfall.
Yes.
Also affects the climate.
Because it affects the climate because of the rainfall. Because of trees, we get rainfall. Why? Because of transpiration. So the water evaporates from them and we get rainfall. So what happens and what is drought? Where there is shortage of water. Yes. So it is so important to conserve water. First reason, increase in population. Explain.
Because of increase in population, because of less rainfall,
Don't mix this and this is the first one. Increase in population.
less rainfall, less pollution.
That's to meet the demands of the less rainfall.
Because the rainfall leads
Less rainfall leads to lowering of the water table.
to make water available for population. We need to
Make water
available for everyone.
Tell him thank you.
इससे जुड़ी बोलो.
That's an explanation there. So increase in population to meet the demands of the increased population. What about the second point?
The rainfall is not, it is not certain, it can happen at any time, it is not fixed.
Yes.
You need to conserve.
So use words like erratic, words like uncertain. Next, third point.
So as for more than 90% is used for irrigation, so we need to conserve the rest.
Correct. India being an agrarian economy, we depend a lot on agriculture. So we need to conserve water to meet the requirements. Fourth point, nothing much to be.
Ma'am, industries use a large quantity of water to create many products, so we need to conserve water to get water for drinking or home
Now
usage.
you are talking about industries, no? Where are you development it is important, no?
पानी conserve किसने करना चाहिए?
But we are talking about the point on irrigation. So if it started properly, then
आप MIT से सीधा खारघर पहुंच गया.
yeah. Yes, then yes, and industries are helpful for, they are required for the development of a country.
Yes.
So we need water. Fifth point. Yes, so and that cannot be used without proper treatment, which again would be a very expensive affair. 6 point, you tell. Correct, and there is drought. Drought is, yes, and that leads to lowering of the water table.
Example शिक्षा तो free पर किस
हाँ, but the point ठीक से लिखना, देखो population का बोल रहे हैं, mix मत करना. हाँ, okay, this is just a distinguish between surface water and groundwater. Surface water, if you all want to. So surface water found on the surface, groundwater below the ground, okay, below the surface. Streams, rivers, lakes, etc. are major sources of surface water. Groundwater stored in porous soil and rocks. Porous is those which have pores and can absorb water like a sponge. It can be directly used for irrigation. Irrigation means for agriculture, and in most cases it is needed to be pumped out because it is under the ground. Yes.
we have to write this.
No need. Here then the same points, high demands for only.
ये तो okay, how to
हाँ बस
we can get rid of that also, no? वो height panel करके आता है। हाँ, उधर दे floating meeting controls. Yes.
let's give the
Okay. Now, what is irrigation? What is irrigation? The process of watering agricultural plants through artificial means, such as tanks, wells, and canals, is known as irrigation. Write down. What is irrigation? You don't need to write what is. Write irrigation and underline irrigation. Watering, yes, watering agricultural plants.
of artificial.
Yes. With artificial means. When do we require irrigation? But
There is
yes,
When there is
Yes.
less rain.
correct. When there is less rainfall in the scanty area. Yes. In times of scanty rainfall, when there is shortage of rain, when we are not able to get the water naturally. Yes, that time we will use the water that has been conserved, or then we can even make channels like these canals which divert river waters. Agriculture in India is largely dependent on rainfall to sustain crop production. Means what? Crop production. Yes, to keep that level of production of crops, we need irrigation. Okay, because agriculture, we just did that 90% of our water is required in agriculture. So we are totally in agriculture. So we are totally dependent on water here. To reduce the dependence of agriculture on rainfall, right? Because when are we doing these irrigation methods? When there's no rainfall, which means if we don't have this, we are more dependent on rainfall. When there's no rainfall, our crops will die. So we'll only be able to grow crops when there is good availability of water. Okay. So to reduce this dependence of agriculture on rainfall, many tanks, wells, and canals have been laid. Okay, you can see here, this is the tank. Tanks, wells, this is a canal. Okay, and this is again a system where water is being pumped. Several multi-purpose dams have also been constructed. Next. Main definition you have written. Why build artificial means of irrigation? Why do we do it? Why? Right now. Build artificial why build artificial what are build? We are saying why to build. No? And when we are saying why build, we are saying why should we build? In our buildings also we have those tanks. In normal houses also we have tanks with questions. Okay. So first point, uncertainty right now. Uncertainty and uneven distribution of rainfall. Uncertainty and uneven distribution of rainfall. What is the difference between uncertainty and uneven?
Uncertainty means we don't know whether we have uneven distribution. It's like in some places that
Yes. So which are the two words that we spoke? One word that we spoke about? Erratic. Second point. Okay, we read this. In India, rainfall is highly irregular, and this you don't need to write, but just understand. At times, the monsoon arrives early. Sometimes it is too late. It also does not rain uniformly in all parts of the country. In such a situation, farmers cannot totally depend on rainfall, and they therefore need other water resources to irrigate their fields. Okay. Second, nature of soil.
among the state why do you irrigation?
Why you listening to me? And even when you write, that way. और बोल के नहीं रहा है क्या हुआ
Arrangement हम लोग arrange करते हैं।
अच्छा है different forms
ये वो सीढ़ियों से गिराना
अच्छा like that
बताओ ये सिस्टम
okay nature of soils some soils require more water while some require less for example clay soil has high moisture holding capacity hence does not need intensive irrigation because that soil holds moisture. So in times of less rainfall, it retains its moisture content which can be utilized by the plants. So it does not require intensive irrigation. While sandy loamy soil needs extensive watering, which means you need more irrigation for sandy loamy soils. Okay? So clay soils. Clay soil, yes, more moisture retention capacity. Okay, sandy, loamy, less retentive. In those areas where there is clay soil, you will need irrigation, but not to an extent where you would have sandy or loamy soil. So that's why nature of soil. Third, who's making those sounds? But why not doing it? क्या? इसमें तो ऐसे sounds निकालता है। वैसा आवाज अभी निकालना। कैसे निकालना था? मैंने समाना भी रखा था। नहीं घुमा। Okay, so then the next point, nature of river. Many rivers in India are not perennial. Not perennial means they are. Yes.
They
are
do not flow throughout the year.
Correct. So they are not perennial. They are seasonal. They run or they have water only during the rainy season, during the 3-4 months. Most of the rivers in central and south India have water only for 4 months during the monsoon. Okay. Thus, an extensive irrigation system is required. So, nature of the river, what will come? Perennial, just write this. This will you remember. RENNIAL. Perennial and seasonal. Okay. Yeah. perennial and seasonal. So where it is seasonal, you would require irrigation, especially in which areas? Central and south. Next point, to maximize production. What point? To maximize production. As the population of the country has increased manifold, manifold means by great numbers, the production of crops also needs to be enhanced. Enhanced means increase to meet, yes. To increase basically, we need to produce more crops to meet the needs of the people. Hence, advanced and reliable methods of irrigation are. What is the problem there? You are not able to see the word. This bench is vacant, so come in front. You can also move one bench in front. Okay, so to maximize production to meet the needs of the growing demands of the people. Okay, just read it. No, it's from different sources. In order to overcome the shortage of water due to its increasing demands, we need to manage water resources. A number of practices have been initiated and measures adopted to conserve water. Some of these are rainwater harvesting, watershed management, water saving technologies, recycling of water, prevention of water pollution. Yes. Water harvesting has many advantages like no land is wasted. Write down. Advantages of water harvesting. Advantages of water harvesting. Another heading. No land is wasted for storage purposes. No land is wasted. Population is not displaced. Population is not displaced. It's not displaced. Like in dams, if you're building a huge dam somewhere, that those people have to move out.
Population is not displaced.
Population.
No
Storage purpose.
land is wasted.
No land is wasted. No population is displaced. Groundwater is not directly exposed to evaporation and pollution. Groundwater, this you write directly. Groundwater is not exposed to evaporation and the pollution. The same thing in different words. You can say that. Increases the productivity of aquifer. Huh? I'll tell you. Increases the productivity of the aquifer. Below the, I had shown you all that day. Below the surface. Huh? There is a layer of this layer of, there will be this layer of rock which is non-permeable. And non-permeable. Non-permeable means it's non-porous. Okay? So, productivity of so aquifers, there it is here also. Okay. So above this you have water. Above this you will have porous rock. Porous means it will have pores through which water can go. So the water is sandwiched between these layers. So this water can be utilized. So when we are increasing groundwater, the level of the aquifer, the water level of the aquifer increases. Reduces soil erosion. Reduces soil erosion. Recharge groundwater resource. Reduces soil erosion. Recharge groundwater. Groundwater gets recharged. Means the groundwater gets over, no? So then again, we'll do that in the next part where when we do rainwater harvesting, we are also recharging the groundwater. Okay? Means that groundwater we are again refilling with water. There are different. What? Water harvesting. Yes, because we are doing what was that we spoke about earlier, but this watershed management that we spoke about. Okay. So that overall reduces soil erosion. Now different water harvesting methods, write down. Water harvesting mechanisms. Methods we use. Water harvesting mechanisms. In different parts of the country, rainwater storing mechanisms were known by different names. They were called, this you're right, full Western Himalayas, just write full dash Western Himalayas. Baulis, this one you're right. Baulis in the Gangetic Plains. Yeah, Bauli dash Gangetic Plains. BAOLIS.
This was at a power.
This one I said. Full in Western Himalayas, Baulis in Gangetic Plains, and Johans, Central India. Johans in Central India. You don't Johans, Central India. And this line you're right, watershed management, leave one line. Watershed management refers to the yes. Watershed management refers to the efficient management conservation efficient management. Yes. Management and conservation. Yes. Of both surface and groundwater resources. Of what? Surface and groundwater. This is like an overall plan that is made. If there is a place, an area where there is there's a lot of erosion happening, so they will do certain things like we spoke about the gullies, gully erosion. So if there is something like a gully erosion, they'll make those check dams, some kind of things, block that water from going forward, and that will prevent erosion. So they do various things like that. So that overall management is known as watershed management. It includes prevention of runoff as well as storage. Runoff is in the next, so don't worry about this word. as well as storage and recharge of groundwater by various methods. These also I've got images for you all, so it will be easy for you to watch it. We'll do that. So first is surface runoff water harvesting. Surface runoff harvesting and storage of this. Write this down. Yes, surface runoff rainwater harvesting. Surface runoff rainwater harvesting. The point. So harvesting of surface runoff and storage of the same into reservoirs. Reservoirs is a place where water is stored, collected, such as water pans, makes it available for use when required. Okay. So instead of that water getting wasted, it is collected. In this method of collecting rainwater for irrigation, water flowing on the ground, in this picture it's quite blurred, but you can see the water is flowing. So that gets wasted. Okay. So that water during the rains will be collected into a tank below the surface of the ground. Yes. Oh, you don't have those where water is accumulated. Water is stored. Okay, in that picture you can see how the water that's flowing, that's being collected. Okay, so that is preventing surface runoff. So that water is utilized. तो discharge मत करो। तो अपना focus करके और अपने को भी पता चलेगा आजकल के। Okay. Next. सारे क्लास में हाँ कम Rooftop rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting is a technique through which rainwater is collected from the surfaces on which the rain falls. Okay, over here, collection area. Filtering it and then storing it for future use. In other words, it's a technique of increasing the recharge of water, groundwater, by capturing and storing rainwater. No, don't write. Okay, so here you can see there is this recharge facility. So here the groundwater is being recharged, not purified. It is being filled up again. Okay, so there are different. Next one would have, yes. This no each part what it is that is covered in the next week. Okay, so what is rainwater harvesting? Collecting rainwater. Yes, and important, yes, filtering. An important point is recharging the groundwater level. Nine. Elements of water harvesting mechanism are as follows. Okay, this is there in your book. Okay, catchment. Understand what is catchment now. It's like a well, but then the water is being it's not going to be filled up. So catchment. No, don't. Quite big and quite clear. You don't need to zoom in. Okay, your eyes have a problem. I'll show you. I'll show you. Catchment. Catchment of a rainwater harvesting mechanism is the surface which directly receives the rainfall. वो कौन सा है? This. Okay, the collection area. Conduits. यहाँ पे. You can see this pipe here. Conduit. यहाँ पे conduit लिखा है. These are pipelines or drains that carry rainwater from the catchment or rooftop area to the harvesting system. Okay, conduits. They are, you can relate it to conduct. So they are conducting the water to the harvesting system. Then is the storage facility. Rainwater can be stored in any available storage container like masonry or plastic tanks or RCC, that is made of cement concrete. Then next is recharge facility, that is this over here. Rainwater can be used to recharge groundwater aquifers through any suitable structures like dug well, bore wells, recharge trenches and recharge pits. Okay, so they make deep holes which reach the bottom and that water is recharged. So one, you're utilizing the water and at the time you're recharging the water table. Recharging groundwater aquifers. There's a box in your text, so don't worry about that. Bore wells. You can see here this.
Yes.
It's written here shallow bore well. Okay. Bore wells are built deep down to the water table than duck wells. Duck wells are not that deep. Okay. Which brings out more pure water without contamination because you get deeper water from deeper depths. Dug well. This is duck well. Duck well is built by old techniques which are time consuming as well as labor consuming. Labor means you need a lot of people to do that work. It's manual. It is done by a hand shovel, which is difficult and risky. It's done by hand, whereas this bore well is done by machines.
Yes.
Then recharge pit. Recharge pit allows the rainwater to replenish groundwater. Means rainwater will fall and it will again increase the groundwater. Okay. by recharging underground aquifers. So when it's collected over here, see this is porous. Okay, so the water will go through it and it will recharge the groundwater aquifers. Aquifers, you all have understood what it is. And it's like stored water under the ground. It can be built to recharge a borewell or just to help the water infiltration in that area. Water infiltration is absorption of water. Okay. Percolation pit. There was some news. Percolation pits could push up Lal Bagh's groundwater by 20 feet. Lal Bagh in Bombay, where they have the Ganpati and all that. So a percolation pit, Lal Bagh ka Raja. A percolation pit is nothing but a hole. This. Okay, you all must have seen this many places. Nothing but a hole to the ground. It helps draw water downwards. Water goes through it downwards through the soil, recharging groundwater. These are all. They have to do it. No, yes. So that there's no evaporation and they have this through which it will go. Yes, and there made many like that, no? Next, recharge trench. Section through rainwater recharge trench, and this is permeable pavement. Recharge trench is a trench and here, hold. Excavated on the ground and refilled with porous media like pebbles, boulders, or brickbats. These are all permeable. Porous means permeable. Okay, so you can see over here, if I'll read it for you, you might not be able to see. It's written 200 something inch or whatever layer of pebbles. Okay, you have layer of boulders, bigger stones. Then layer of fly ash bricks on trench, something up to some depth, and then here you have layer of brickbats section through. So it keeps getting, initially you will have the porous and then you will have the water settling down. Permeable pavement, you can see these roads. As if they can't differentiate between reading and singing. Okay, quiet. Permeable pavement is a porous urban surface. It's done in urban areas, which catches precipitation and surface runoff. Surface runoff, you understood what it is. Surface runoff, storing it in the reservoir while slowly allowing it to infiltrate into the soil below. Okay, so it gets accumulated and then it gets stored into the ground below. Irrigation. So, okay, irrigation. Traditional means of irrigation. Here we have traditional means of irrigation. Write down this point. Okay, write down Henry's irrigation. Okay, now here we are going to deal more into. Yeah, here we'll talk about wells and all these things. Wells, yeah. Wells, tube wells, canal, tank. So we'll talk about all methods of irrigation, old methods as well as the new methods. So some part of the water we use and the other part of the water gets it's serving two purposes. This all we'll be doing, inundation canals and all. So you all write it down. So wells, tanks, inundation canals. These are traditional means, okay? The old methods of irrigation. Modern methods you have tube wells, perennial canals, drip irrigation, spray irrigation, furrow irrigation, and sprinkler. Sprinkler.
Gardens and
Yes, you are good at seeing.
मतलब घर के पीछे लगा है तब खराब पानी पानी हो जाता है पानी
That gyp she's the house.
ये वाला
Take it.
सबके मम्मी ये ओपन कर देते हैं सबके ये बंद कर देते हैं यहाँ से
But that is also adding to when there is no rainfall also it's getting active over here. There's stored water. I think time is up, so we close up 1 minute left.
हो
गया। लगा नहीं अभी? Done ना? Traditional methods, basically traditional methods you should write wells, tanks, inundation canals, 3. Modern methods, tube wells, perennial canals, drip irrigation, spray, furrow, sprinkler. कितने हो गए? 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Akanksha, see you next week.
Hi ma'am, thank you ma'am.
Okay, whatever we have